Welcome to Charting Cryptos and Commodities. We'll jump first into the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart. You can see with this little line that's tracking across the chart here, you can see the high so far for the week on Bitcoin, and this is the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart. We're looking at the weekly. We are reaching the prior highs that we hit back in August. And then back in July, we're getting up close to that as we get near the 200 exponential moving average. You can also see on here, and again, I don't like this. Let me figure out how to get that off my chart. There we go. I'm going to clear that off so we can see. You can see, though, as Bitcoin moves up, I mentioned this on today's show, today's daily review, you can see how the volume is going down. So again, as things have started peaking out, volume is slowing. Now, we'll continue to watch, wait, and see how that translates as to further price movement. What I would ideally like to see, since we've already had a high back here in August, and we're hitting another high, it'd be wonderful to see it roll back over, give us this little shape right here, and then once more test a bottom, and then push back through and hammer up. Don't know if it's going to do that or not. We'll wait, watch, and see. If we go above the 200 EMA, that'll also be nice to see. Another nice thing about a move down is that it would allow us to reset our STC. You can see this latest move on the STC was not worth anything. It moved up for 2 weeks a little bit and then died. You can see that acceleration in down volume. So we would like for our STC indicator to be reset here on Bitcoin. So we'll see how things move going forward. Now, you can see again with Ethereum how back in August we had a high above the 200 EMA. Ethereum over the last 3 weeks, or this week being the third week, well, even 3 weeks ago, we can see where we touched it with the wick on top of the candle, but the candle bodies themselves moving through, and of course, volume slowing down. So there was a prior high around this area back in late October. Don't know if Ethereum's going to push on through, bounce off where maybe this is a ceiling here for Ethereum. Maybe it'll go up further. Maybe it'll blow things out completely. But again, we've seen it move up, then down, up, then down. But we want to get some kind of stable area where we have resistance that's shown and then see it blow through that after testing it twice. So we'll see how things move ahead. What do we see going on with this Bitwise 10 crypto index fund? Now remember, this is made up of the top 10 cryptocurrencies weighted based upon market share. And of course, you can see here as things have tracked over the last few weeks moving up, really haven't hit any level where there might be some type of resistance here. And again, this is not old enough as far as the fund goes to give us any kind of 200 exponential moving average on the weekly chart. We can see one on the 2-day, and we can see where we are on the half-day chart, but that's not really doing a whole lot for us. So again, we can tell with the volume how it slowed down, and we'll just continue to watch and see, particularly how our big movers in Bitcoin and Ethereum do. Now we're going to leave cryptos and we're going to head over to commodities and see what those things are doing for us. And you know what I think I'm going to do too is I'm going to switch my charts and I'm going to take you over to our 3 time frame chart. And we'll take a look at the commodities on that one. And we will start with those that are pounding down the strongest. Look at natural gas. We all heard natural gas is going to be unavailable, so expensive nobody could afford it. Look at how natural gas is just hammering down. Top frame weekly, 2-day, and the half day. And of course, you can see where it peaked back in August and just down for the day, 8.80%. What about gasoline? Well, as we look at gasoline, we can see that, its most recent high was last week, down 4.29% for the day. So again, gasoline off its highs from back in June, down, popped up to the prior high back in October, a little bit higher than where we were last week, and now it appears to be moving back down again. We look at where we are on oil, same kind of thing. Oil not as radical as gas, but down for the week. Look at coffee. Coffee had really run off and then turned around, had really run off and hammered down. I was a little excited about that because I love coffee, and I don't want it to be expensive. But it had run down for many weeks, sideways, up a little bit, down, and man, over the last couple of weeks, really bouncing up. Sugarcane, check it out. I mean, the prior high that we saw in sugarcane was back in April. Now, we can zoom in on this chart and see a little more if we really breathe things in. Look at that. Look at what sugarcane has done over the course of these last 2 weeks, just bounding up to super highs. So again, down for the day, 1.63%. But on that weekly chart, sugarcane just hammering up. Copper, again, used in industrial production, going up for many weeks over the last 3 weeks, sliding sideways, losing some energy. We look at where soybeans are. And of course, we can see the high in soybeans back in June. It's off that high, but has just been tracking sideways for the last, 5 weeks or so. Wheat, below its, again, below the 30 EMA. I just use this. This is not the 200 EMA. I use this in another charting effort that I put forward. But you can see where, again, it's been tracking down. Corn, up for the day, but again, corn just sort of sliding sideways too, off its highs. Silver, it's interesting. Silver had bumped up, and then for the last 4 weeks, off some last week, this week, what we see there is just a spinning top. We've had multiple spinning tops, except last week where silver was quite down, recovered a little bit from that, but maybe silver has hit its the highs that we're going to see. And of course, gold, again, up for the day, 1.26%. Gold, when it took off on the weekly chart, my friends, it has just been a moving up. But it is slowing down. You can see the volume down some. And you can see, again, gold on that prior 2-day candle starting on the 30th and the 31st. That was Monday and Tuesday of this week, pulling back some and then recovering after that. So that is where we are on charting cryptos and commodities, hoping to see Bitcoin and Ethereum, hit a top and then pull back down, reset, so that we can, particularly with Bitcoin, so that we can recount on our STC again to help us spot a good entry point for entering into Bitcoin. But that is where we are. So appreciate you being with us. Always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.